Today, as always,
right
somebody from PF is with me. Today, we're putting together a resource kind of guide. Today's podcast is about, or the huddle here is about, staying in tune with the industry, staying up to date. And I'm not just talking about new products, although many of the resources we are going to share with you will help keep you up to date on new tools and new products, but also keeping you up to date on industry developments. What's up, Jose?
How's it going, brother?
Industry developments. It keeps you in touch with when the conventions we always talk about, whether it's convention or a show, whether you're in tile, carpet, resilient, or hardwood. So we're going to put together a resource guide. A few of them I'll mention on here, and we'll share that on all of our social later today. And we'll also send out emails. So if you're on our email list, you'll get an email with some links. And basically, this is different publications in the industry, from Floor Covering Weekly or one of the Pro Installer or one of those. Also, I've got to give a big shout out to the NTCA. If you're a Go Carerra member, you get their education package, and within that education package, I believe it's $249 a year. Normally it's $600. So as a Go Carerra member, you get it for $249. But that comes with one of the best resources for tile, which is the tile letter. And that really keeps you up to date. You'll get that monthly in the mail, and that really keeps you up to date on all things tile, from new developments, stories. It's like a Reader's Digest for tile, basically. So that's a good one. Obviously, we talked about CFI before. Becoming a member there is very valuable to you, but also you'll be on their newsletter and kind of stay up to date with their trainings. You'll be able to stay up to date with new trainings. Not just new or trainings in your area, but when they come out with the new training, they put that in their newsletter. There's also various the NWFA is with for wood flooring. NAFCT does a great job for training and resilient and things like that. So we'll basically share a resource guide that will allow you just to go and click on that resource and go check out the material. The big thing here is a lot of people that are in our industry, and we've ran surveys specifically on flooring installers, surveys that just show that many of them don't have an idea of where to go to find trainings or stay up to date with the industry standards, new installation methods and techniques. So we're going to share that. This huddle is less conversational than previous, because I'm going to ask you guys what resources you have. Ashlyn will log that down, and if we don't already have that at Go Carerra as a resource, we'll add that. But what do you guys get on are you on newsletters? How do you stay in touch with where the industry is going? You guys have such a good thumb on the pulse of that. How do you actually keep that thumb on the industry's pulse?
That's exactly it. It's our inboxes are filled up with newsletters and the emails. CFI, got Floor Covering News, Pro Installer Magazine from the distributors.
Even the FCICA sends information for.
Yeah, FCICA is a good one too. They even have like monthly webinars that you can join, and there's Guys, that one's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up,
Yeah.
Jose, because we're both members of
Yes.
FCICA, and in our flooring companies, I'm also Go Carerra as a member as the software company. But you want to talk about staying up to date and getting opportunities to jump on webinars and learn new product. I know Ardex does it a lot.
Sure
I think I've
does.
seen,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen almost every major manufacturer do a webinar on new product launches. It's a fast and efficient way. Many times we look at our inbox and we're like, shoot,
It's hard to decipher
I,
what's spam and what isn't, right? So you kind of have to thumb through it a little bit. But even if it does come through and it gets flagged, there still is some information in there. There's a lot of links that you could click on and just kind of move forward through. You just have to. I
yeah,
want to
I'd
say,
recommend if you don't know where it's coming from, don't click on it.
yeah, well, that
But
too.
but for sure, there's a lot of information. Well, mentioning the FCICA, and they really focus in on, the soft goods side of the industry, so resilient and carpet side.
Yep.
Um, their webinars, we've done one for Go Carrera on there before, but their webinars are really informative. I would suggest signing up with the FCICA. Now, I'm not sure on every resource if you have to be a member to be part of it or not, so you'll have to decipher through each one. We might be able to put some more information. Ashlyn can do that on the resource guide, but the inbox is full of stuff. And what I'm saying with the webinar is, I know when you look at it, it can be like, I don't have 30 minutes, but to get the same information, you got to have a rep come into your office. It's going to take 2 hours.
Well,
So,
the thing is even like when I was in the field, I would put a webinar on and I wouldn't pay, I wouldn't focus 100% of my attention to the webinar. I'd be working over here, leave the phone wherever I can get signal and just listen. And then once I'm like, oh, let me pay attention to this real quick, go
Yeah.
grab the phone, look at it.
The-
But the information is very valuable. I mean, that's really where, like for an example, I was working. I don't know. Bronson is about an hour and 15 minutes away from here, and working out there doing a brand new hospital, and the MAPE was doing one on their LVT for shower system, and I was like, sounds interesting to me. So I listened to it, came back, told him, and we're like, let's start talking to MAPE, and talk to Sam Biondo and what's the other guy's name? Craig
Or Jeffrey.
Jeff, a number of people, and then we ended up getting, some material, and boom, our office has a shower in it out of LVT.
yeah.
It's actually pretty sweet looking. I prefer to take a shower here at the office than I do at home, to be honest.
Well, it's stuff like that. I mean, who I seen. Now you go to that, and then you follow up with going to surfaces where I seen the LVT in the shower, and you kind of can touch and feel it. So it's good supporting documents for you to kind of know what's going on when you do go to convention or to a show. Some of the notable shows we've mentioned in the past, but surfaces, coverings, surfaces is all things flooring. Leans a little more residential. Coverings is all hard tile all over the world. Ceramic tile of Italy, of Spain, of Portugal. I mean, everybody who manufactures tile is pretty much there. You got TSP, which is another ceramic tile called Total Solutions Plus, that has an annual convention as well, and that is really focused on education for the tile industry. You got obviously CFI convention, which is really focused on training and installers. Let's see, other notable NTCA, which is the National Tile Council of America or Association, one of the two. Then you got, so they obviously are very focused on tile. They got a great program called 5-star contractor, which you can become as a flooring company if you go through certain things. It's pretty hard to get there, but it's pretty valuable. There's some specs out there that require 5 stars contractors to do the work. The NWFA is the National Wood Flooring Association, and that's all things hardwood. And if you ever get a chance to go to St. Louis and look at their facility and see some of the stuff that they have done with hardwood, it's absolutely amazing. And then you got let's see, went through the FCEF. Everybody, that one is their main goal, and they could use your support too. Their main goal is helping us solve the labor issues. So they're doing a lot of recruiting. They're working with a lot of community colleges. They've got a 10-week kind of, I believe, I know it's 10 weeks. I don't know if they call it a certified program or whatever it's called.
Training, a 10-week training program, not a certification.
Training. Okay. That is being done at a couple of community colleges at this point, I believe. So they're awesome to be involved with and kind of see where that's heading. Let's see, what else? I know I'm missing several here, but anyway, we'll have it all on the resource list. The idea is to, get plugged in, like Daniel said. You're going to get this into your inbox. You get the choice of whether to watch, read, or whatever, and take advantage of that information.
Once you sign up for some of these things too, like the FCICA, it's once their webinars are pushed out there, you can attend it live, but if you can't make it, everything's recorded and you can get in there and watch it later too.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, they record every webinar, so if you miss one, like Daniel said, you can go back and watch it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you really look at, I think everyone pretty much has their own magazine out too, right? And the information in there is actually coming from people that are living it. We've written a few articles. I actually have them posted on our website so people can kind of click through and see what we've written, but it's a lot of valuable information there too. And then the best thing about those articles is, like, if you read something from one of us and then you go to one of these conventions and you're like, hey, I read your article, can we talk about this? And that's what happened at CFI convention. It was awesome to know that, one, people are reading these things, and two, they do have some input and want to pick your brain not only about what you wrote, but about their thoughts on it and how your views of some things, depending on what you're talking about, may be a little off, or everyone's not going to agree on everything, but if it's definitely about an installation method or a standard, those are kind of set in stone.
Sure, but you bring up a good point. I mean, you guys have written articles. I think I've written 5 or 6 articles over the years here. The key, what I'm saying that for, is if you're tied into the organization, you have a chance to write articles too. They want content. So if you get in touch with them and discuss, and you have something important you want to say to the industry, and get your research out there or whatever it is. I've written articles on the labor shortage. I've written articles on using digital tools and how flooring's a bit behind from construction in general is a bit behind in technology. We're catching up, honestly, but flooring is kind of lagging, even the construction side from a technology standpoint. We had a whole podcast about technology and stuff, so but whatever it is you are passionate about within the industry, or even just business in general, you will find that there are opportunities out there to write the articles yourself and work with, whether it's FCICA or whomever, on getting your article published.
Yeah,
so
and it's not that they want the articles; they need the articles, right? Like,
they need the content.
There's a lot of instances where they're just reaching out saying, hey, can you just write us something on one of these 20 subjects? Like
Yep.
just your views. And it's only, like Daniel said, it's only one view. And we can only speak for our experiences, but man, it'd be nice to see some new names in some of these articles and read it and
Yeah, I mean,
build on
that's a
that.
great opportunity for people to go through. That they typically would send out basically an Excel spreadsheet with the different publications and the requirements for those publications, and then some titles they're looking to fill. And if you feel like you're an expert in that area and you're tied in with the organization, so they know you're an expert, you got a good chance of being published.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it
what else
doesn't
do you
take
guys
long.
do?
Hands on, man. Just a lot of hands on. Like, we don't have a very big warehouse or a shop per se, but if there's material out there or something that is coming across the desk and we're not familiar with it, we'll make the phone calls, we'll call the reps, we'll try to get some material, whether it's donated or we purchase it to get the hands on. And then from there, you start educating yourself like, this isn't working. Now let's look to see what tooling is out there to help this. Or we'll reach out to the networks and say, hey, who's worked with this before? What are you guys using? Why are you using that? And you'll get a bunch of different answers, but it's really a comfort thing. And you get a lot of people involved in the conversation, and it starts a whole conversation about it. And then it brings to the surface some of the answers that some other people don't know or wouldn't even think about asking. And they're another opportunity for an aha moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're talking about, staying up to date. The biggest thing is knowing who your reps are and talking to them about stuff. Because once you, it's never really to the point where they're gonna start coming to you and being like, "Hey, you want to start talking?" You actually have to initiate the conversation most of the time, and then once you do, you establish that relationship, and then they'll start coming to you. So we get tool manufacturers and stuff like that. They're like, hey, we got this new tool coming out. Can you guys, check it out and let us know your thoughts? Or, we're having a really hard time pushing this one tool or product. Will you guys work with it and kind of give us your feedback? And, we do. We've made videos and we've actually made videos to the point to where we're like, yeah, we'll record something, put it on YouTube. And then once we start recording, it's like, hey, let's just stop recording this and start recording like something just for these people so they can know what to tweak before like this product. This is why they can't push this product because there's something wrong with it. We're gonna let them know, and then we can get that next prototype and move on from there.
But that comes from being involved at convention, getting to
Everywhere,
know
yeah.
guys like Danny and those, with Wolf or the Taylor guys, or getting in touch with the manufacturers so that or the tool makers in this case, so that they know to even send you something.
Right.
That they even know who you are. I mean, so that's getting to convention or getting to the different shows where the tool manufacturers display their stuff, and they love doing that. So
And they love the feedback, right? Because if they're not making something that you're going to use, why are they even making it? So if something can just be tweaked a little bit, like if we just tweak this, we can sell this much more. That's really the information that they need. So once you establish that relationship, they'll start reaching out. Hey, check this out, and then we're notorious for giving honest feedback. So
Yeah.
it's like this is what's wrong with it. This is what I don't like, and this is why this isn't going to be in my toolbox. Like sometimes it's just sometimes there's a tool that.
Well, the same thing goes with adhesives and stuff like that. I know adhesives that I just don't care to use. I'm not going to name anybody's name, but I'm just saying, you get messing with something and you figure out the goods and bads of it and report back.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they need content, they need feedback, they need all this stuff, and they just need more Daniels and Jose's and Pauls to be out there talking and trying their products out.
And if you really look at it, like when we were at CFI convention, Mohawk was a huge part of that, and Alana was like talking to us a lot, and she's like, I need to know, I need installer feedback so that way we can know that we're engineering products that are not only going to be look good on the floor, but be installer friendly and perform the way they need to be.
Yeah, and they look pretty, and they seem like they'd work, in the manufacturing plant. But you got to get them out in the field to kind of mess with them a bit, see what the dependencies are, what the problems are, that kind of stuff. So
I think
cool, yeah,
caught that her off guard too. It was like she asked, "Hey, what about this product?" And I wouldn't even put it in my house. I wouldn't do it. Why not?
Yeah.
This is top rated. I said, because I live in Michigan. It's just not going to perform where I'm at. Like,
yeah,
I know it's going to fail. Nobody's going to take care of it the way it's supposed to. I don't want it to fail. It's going to fail. But that's what started that conversation.
Well, that's nice and deep, and getting to know the product, but for sure. Well, so another good way is join the Huddle weekly. We're here every Tuesday at 3:00. I think we're on episode 14 or 15, 16. Something like that. 16. We've missed one, I believe, maybe two, but for the most part, we're here. Again, we're trying to create a comprehensive resource list for you guys. So we're going to publish that. Like I said, Ashton's going to put it on our social here the next, maybe this afternoon, but more than likely over the next day or so. And, provide your feedback. If you have any questions, if we're missing anything, just let us know. I'll reach out to these guys, and if I don't have the answer, they, one of us will, and we'll get a resource for you. So outside that, the Huddle was a little different this week. We weren't going real in depth on, in a topic that you drill into, but I did want to talk about some of the ways you can keep your thumb on the pulse. These guys do it great. That's why it's so good to have them on there. You see them everywhere. They're always at, conventions and shows, and they're always talking with the right people. And so that's, I guess, the last point would be, don't be shy when you get to the shows and convention. Come up, say hi to any of us, and certainly
we made
we
it a point,
can introduce you to other people.
Yeah, we made it a point at the last convention to where if we seen someone sitting by themselves, it's like, let me go sit next to this guy and just, talk to him for a little bit. And, a lot of people, it's their first time. They have no idea what they're even walking into.
Yeah.
So in order to be comfortable, sometimes you have to have someone to approach you. And so that's what we did last time. And
breaking the ice for him is really what it was.
I just send Dwayne Pruitt out there, and he breaks the ice for all of it.
He's fantastic at that. Fantastic, yeah.
But then he doesn't shut up.
Yeah, that's true too. And he knows it. I love you, Dwayne. But anyway, that's about it for this week, guys. It's amazing that took almost 30 minutes just going through that. But if you guys got anything signing off?
Grab that with baby sister.
The picture or
that? No. I was gonna say that this is why you gotta get into the magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She put a picture of me on there because she felt bad.
Oh yeah, because both of us are on here just to
moral support.
Yep, basically, like.
Yeah, and you guys basically drag little sister into to her first competition and really getting involved herself, and she's emerging as not only being recognized as a great installer, but also a leader for females in our industry. I know I've talked to several ladies who admire her very much, and so yeah, you get to meet people. But staying in tune, I know we preach a lot about getting to convention, but that's because this is our only, not our only method, but it's a really good method of staying in touch with people that can make a difference in your business. And so we just encourage it a lot. And then, of course, just to recap, we'll publish this resource page, and hopefully it helps everybody out a little bit. So if you got any questions, feel free to email us, support@GoCarrera. If you got any questions for Daniel and Jose, you guys want to plug your email if they have any install questions, or do you have
you can email either one of us, Daniel or Jose, at pfmi.team.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me on this short huddle, and it's good seeing you guys again, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. We'll see you
All
next
right.
time.
Have a good one, brother.
See you next week, guys.